Happy Thursday and welcome back to the You Good Podcast, the podcast where oversharing is encouraged and thoughts get real. I'm your host, C-Rod, and as always, joined by my co-host, Nick. There's this weird thing we all do where we hold on to stuff, right? Whether it's money or clothes, experiences, even time. Like we're going to need it later for something more important. But nobody really tells you when later is supposed to happen or what happens if when never does happen. Today, we are talking about why we save things we don't use, why we wait longer than we should, and how easy it is to look up one day and realize time moved faster than we thought. Welcome to episode 42. You don't get time back. Let's get into it. So I had a Celsius today.
Did you? Yeah. Are you wired? When did you have it?
Well, okay. So the funny thing is I would have multiple Celsiuses a day, even as early as like a month ago, when we were driving home from somewhere, maybe Tennessee. No, this would have been Thanksgiving. We were driving home from Tennessee. I had 3 Celsiuses on the drive. God, like, stop drinking them. You're gonna have a heart attack. But I kept drinking them, and I wasn't getting energy from them. But now that I'm on this weight loss journey, I feel like since I'm drinking all of just water and maybe because all of the bad stuff has gotten out of my system, I had 1 Celsius maybe around like 12 o'clock, and I've just been going all day. Like it's crazy. It's crazy.
That's pretty nuts.
Do you think there's anything to that because I'm eating clean that maybe it affects you different, or is that just
It's placebo, I'm
a
sure.
placebo?
Yeah, your body's like, oh, I finally have other shit. Let's just eat.
Yeah,
No, it's probably working. I mean, I would imagine it's probably working.
whatever. I'm gonna just think about it and think that it's working. Whatever. I feel good.
Does
I
it
feel
really
good.
matter
I
if
feel
you feel
great.
better?
No, it doesn't.
There you
I'm
go.
number one, and that's what matters.
Oh man, shit's getting deep in here.
Woo! It was good to see you
Woo!
over Easter break, sir.
Yes, it was 2 weekends in a row. Starting to
2 weekends in
spoil.
a
You're
row.
spoiling me.
And if you join us in Vegas, that
Oh
will be
God,
another experience.
I don't know. It's the Backstreet Boys. I
It
just
is
I
the Backstreet Boys.
I can't. I don't know, man. Th- I'm I'm thinking about going just to hang out with you guys and not go to Backstreet.
Whatever. Whatever. I think we are
I
up to
It's
a
just one
group
of
of
those
7.
things. Yeah,
If
hasn't
you
gotten that
follow
big
me
yet.
on social media, on my personal social media at crod2388, you
Oh
might see
my
that I've been
God.
planning a trip to see the Backstreet Boys at the Sphere in Vegas. You've probably got a text from me. If you don't, I apologize, but I have texted many people, and we started with 5, and now we're up to 7, and probably in a few weeks here, it might be up to like 10 people coming, and I'm very excited because the Backstreet Boys are awesome. And so if you don't believe that, or if you think that's GAY, you take one of these. Or
Wow. Wow.
I've I've got so many people tell me, "Oh, you're gay if you're liking the Backstreet Boys." Or Ashley, she was like, "I don't think I want to see the Backstreet Boys. Have you seen what Brian did on the beach? He's so pretentious." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever. That doesn't change the music or the experience at the Sphere." And
Yeah. Just I I don't know. I'm having a hard time justifying it.
it's a super cheap trip. And Preston and I
Yeah,
have
no,
been
the
talking.
not the trip part, just the concert. Like,
Oh, it's a great
just
concert. It's a great concert.
mm,
I saw
I
him
don't
in
know.
Tampa. It was amazing.
Yeah, part of me is just like I could gamble that money and
You
see
could
how well I do.
throw it all on black.
Fuck, maybe, maybe.
I don't know. I'm very excited. There's a good group of people. you're more than welcome to join. Anybody is more than welcome to join for only $150 for 2 nights at the MGM Grand and less than $300 for floor GA at the Sphere. You too could see the Backstreet Boys in Vegas.
300 a piece.
Yeah, for a ticket for
Yeah,
floor.
yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, but I gotta
Where
pay
else can
for
you get that cheap
two,
of a
and then
ticket?
it's just yeah, it's just I don't like the Black Backstreet Boys enough.
Whoa.
I'd rather just
Cut
play
that, cut that,
this.
cut that.
I'd rather just play $600 hands of blackjack or something.
That would be wild.
Wouldn't it?
That would be fucking nuts. That'd be awesome to have that kind of money one day where you could just throw $600 down and either double it or lose it. But if you lose it, you're like, ah, fuck it, just $600. Me, I'd be
Yeah.
like, it was $600.
Mm. I would have been
How do
like,
I get
ah,
that
that
back?
sucks. Grab more.
No, I don't have.
Get a line of credit through the casino.
I want to take the fun conversation we're having, really bring it down. I want to bring it just right down this early, right?
Awesome.
Because
Great. It's been a
it is
week, so this
time.
is just awesome.
It's time for our rotational opener
Oh God.
of what's been heavy. I can kick it to you first. I can go first.
Just I guess for me, just holidays. Families getting smaller. Not having as much immediate family. I mean, I think this was the first Easter
Mm.
we probably didn't do anything.
Oh, really?
That yeah, yeah, we didn't. I mean, we had dinner, but outside of that, like, wasn't anything special. Uh,
Yeah, but I mean, you guys are older, right? So it's not like you're out running around with the Easter Bunny or doing pictures or egg hunts or
yeah,
anything. So,
yeah. It's still just weird, you know.
yeah,
Just you're used to having little kids around, or things like that, and as you get older, it yeah, obviously, my child's almost an adult, so
right.
she hasn't hunted for eggs in a while, but still exchanged the basket. You would do that until she was 18, but she didn't come over this year, so
Shit,
she
until
stayed
like
at her
5 years
mom's
ago, my
house.
mom was still making me a basket.
Yeah, yeah. No, see, I went over there. Grandma doesn't have anything going on. Maybe I'm getting
Yeah.
a basket again. No, I didn't get it. Nothing. I had to raid their pantry.
Oh, jeez. No, yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, that does suck. I'm very
Ah,
thankful that I still have two youngins. But I didn't have Kinsley this year,
yeah.
and I agree. If she was with us, she probably wasn't going to be super excited to go egg hunting. Maybe with her brother and sister just to see them, but not separately. I know that her and Kelsey. I don't think they did an egg hunt on Easter or anything like that, or took pictures with the Easter bunny. So I mean, I definitely see where you're coming from. As that youth gets out, it's Easter becomes, I don't want to say less important, but less about, the fun activities and the egg coloring and
I'm
the egg
more
hunting
about
and
what
all
it
that.
actually is about.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, a lot of reflecting was done this past weekend. Uh, you know, things like that. So,
Yeah. Well,
what about
we saw
you?
each
What's
other, and
what's
that's what was
what?
very important.
Yeah, yeah. What's been heavy with you?
Ah, sickness and health. Sickness and health has been a very common theme for me personally lately. Not not saying me sick. We've talked about my dog being sick, and we've Callie's stepdad has been sick, but there's just so many people in my life now where I'm on Facebook and I'm seeing my friend was in the hospital with his newborn, being sick. Somebody at work is, my uncle just passed away and my grandfather's in the hospital. And just so many people I feel like around me have been sick with cancer or, other debilitating diseases. And it's like, okay, does that just mean we are an age where because people are getting older, right? They're in their 60s, 70s, 80s, that they're getting sick and we're starting to experience that more? Or are people just in general, right? Ever since COVID, we talk about so many people having different illnesses where people are like, oh, you're fine. But it's not the flu and it's not this. And now all of a sudden, all these different sicknesses are coming out. I don't know. I'm not a conspiracy theorist on
Mm.
that side of health and science of any kind, but it's something to think about, right?
Well, I am. so like for me, I'm like, yeah. I don't know if we're getting sicker at a larger pace or not. I'm sure it's the same. Uh, we're just getting older, so I guess more people we know or are familiar with are getting sick or terminal
Hmm.
illnesses. But I mean, the cynical side of me wants to say it's, people got the vax and now weird things are happening to them, but I don't know. I I have a lot to say on that subject, so maybe maybe we'll save that for another
Conversation
episode.
for another day.
Yeah, I a lot to say on that in particular.
I think the hardest part has been hearing about kids getting sick, right?
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's any easier to push something off of like, oh, they're older, right? Of course they're going to get sick. I'm not saying that it's easier, but it's really unfortunate. I won't name names here, but I texted a friend and he was like, my kid is really sick. We're in the
Mhm.
hospital and she's I think like 11, 12, 13, like super
Yeah.
young to where you shouldn't have to be dealing with that as a child, as a parent with young children. And it really breaks my heart seeing my friends go through these problems with their kids. I've been there with
Yeah.
Carter being sick, right? So I can sympathize and I can
Mhm.
empathize. Thankfully, he's been able to recover at a pace that is, conductive of being positive to it. But it's really hard to see friends and family members struggle with their young and their youth.
Yeah. No, uh, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I think I think I know exactly the situation you're talking about.
Hmm.
So yeah, no, it's been tough. Even that, when I found out, I'm like, man, that's a lot, and it's never easy. It's never
Right.
fun. Uh, but yeah, I don't know if it's more of an alarming, and like I said, at a higher rate or not. It's just like you said. I think it's unfortunate when it's the children. Um, it's always harder because you always expect to, you know, them. You take care of your kids, and then they take
Yeah.
care of you, right? Like that's the way it goes. And to see him ill, I mean, Sam's was diabetic, so is not was, but is a diabetic. So like her being sick and stuff like that, it was a lot. I was always like, I wish I had to deal with it and not you.
Wish I could take
Um,
that pain away from you, kid.
I think that's
Yep.
the hardest part. Like, I wish I would take this tenfold to not see
Yeah.
you have to deal with this.
It's
So,
it's it's unbelievable. It's heartbreaking. And if anybody's listening to this that has family members that are sick, or going through anything, or kids that are sick, you know, anytime I see it, I don't, again, I'm not going to get into religion or anything. I don't believe in thoughts and prayers, but I am wishing for positive vibes for whoever might be sick, to hopefully see the better side of it sooner rather than later.
mm, yes,
Yeah.
and I'll pray. So,
There you go. Well, that's what's been heavy. I don't want to bring the episode down, but I do think that
y-
it is good to just get these things out and talk about them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's part of life, unfortunately.
Fortunately, especially as we get older now. Let's bring the atmosphere back up though.
This is a
The
roller
next
coaster.
the
This is
next
just a roller coaster.
the next thing I wanna bring up is it's baseball season, right? We've
Mm.
had plenty of episodes where we talked about baseball and we're getting back into it. But one of the funny stories that has come across my feeds lately has been the Derek Jeter and Jason Giambi golden thong story. Have you heard this story?
Um, I I have, but not. I didn't know it was Giambi, so like
Yeah.
I knew it was Jeter, but I'm not sure.
Okay. So the background of this story is Jason Giambi, ex Oakland A's player, ex New York Yankees player. He would always have this golden thong in his locker room, just I guess out there for anybody to see. And anytime that somebody would slump, he would offer to give them the golden thong, or they would take it, use it, they would get a hit and get out of the slump. I don't know if all of these dudes were putting the thong on underneath. I do know that when Derek Jeter said he did it, he put it on over like his boxers or whatever. But Derek Jeter had gone 0 for 32, and Jason Giambi was very adamant. Whenever you wear this thong, you are guaranteed to get a hit. Well, Derek Jeter says he puts the thong on. He doesn't know if maybe it's because his butthole's so clenched from being so tight or whatever. But his first at bat up after being 0 for 32 with the golden thong on, he hits a home run. And Derek Jeter does not hit home runs. He's not a power guy. Dude hits a home run. Like, is that not a circumstance, or not a circumstance, a coincidence, or
Yeah,
is it true that the golden thong has powers?
it's baseball. Baseball and rituals. I mean, Red Sox didn't win for 98 years because we sold Babe Ruth.
Yeah,
Like, and that we just use that for all of our shitty decisions. Every bad decision we ever made, every poor trade, every poor free agents, see, every
Babe
poor
Ruth.
everything. It was we sold Babe Ruth in 1915, and that's the reason for everything. So sure. I mean, he was bound to get a hit eventually. You know what I mean? It was Derek Jeter. I don't
Yeah.
know if Cano or it was. I did a little bit of research while you were doing it, and apparently it was 2008 season. So,
Right before he
uh,
retired. Oh no, they would have won in
the one
2009.
in '09, yeah. So,
Yeah, so he didn't retire for a few more years.
hmm so like if everyone comes out and like substantiates that. I mean, Giambi, it is known Giambi had that and wore it often.
Yeah,
Works every time. Uh, so I mean, maybe I don't know if
it's
it
just
worked
it's
every time. Why didn't he wear it all the time then?
well because then it's
Like,
not special. It's just to get you out of the
mm-mm.
slump. It's not the thong to get you hitting. It's the thong to get you going again. Can't wear the
So
thong
do you
anymore.
take
Come
it
on.
off after you get that one hit, or do you wear it for the whole game?
You wear it for the whole game. You got to commit to the whole game. All
So
nine
then why
innings.
wouldn't you wear it every time?
Well, what if you don't get a hit your first at bat? What if your first hit isn't until the third at bat or fourth at bat?
Then did it work?
Well, yeah, you walked away with a hit.
In the ninth. You went 1 for 5.
Well, we'll have to see if there's anybody else who can corroborate that story.
Not his story. It had to work for them.
Okay, that's fair.
Like
That's fair.
that's like if it worked for him and him only, I'm like that's a fluke. If it worked every single time, then okay. I mean, I would have loved to see like did Andy Pettit wear it when they went on like when they went interleague and they had to hit. You know, it's like
You're digging too far into this, Nick. It's just
mm,
dumb things that we believe work.
mm,
Okay.
okay.
Gosh. All right. So now we're gonna bring this roller coaster. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, you were like, we're gonna bring down this mood, and then it was like,
Boom,
well, I
boom.
didn't want to bring him down too much, and
Hey,
then we'll bring it back up, and then now we're gonna go right back down. Like I said, roller coaster. We're on a roller coaster today.
all
Buckle
right.
in, ladies and
The,
gentlemen.
well, the theme of today's episode, right? It's funny how we will believe in something like that working, a superstition of the gold bond, but then we'll hesitate on real life decisions, right? Like when to actually enjoy our time. Do we save time for now? Do we save it for later? Do we live life like we're young? Do we uh, build a foundation and enjoy life when we're older? I feel like there's a big gap there and it's different between every person of how do you live your life. And I want that to be the theme of today's episode. So for our first segment here, I want people thinking about something that you've kept way longer than you needed to, but ask yourself why.
Mm,
And I
I was
say
about to make a
this,
bad joke.
what's the joke?
Oh, my ex-wife.
Oh, Jesus. Well, I say this because I was home over the holiday, and you know that trope of every time you go home, your parents have something saved, or it's like, hey, look through your old room and let's get rid of this or let's get rid of that. Well, when does keeping things become hoarding is my first question, because the concept of,
Oh.
right, throwing something away, was it from our parents? Did your parents growing up, were they the ones who were like, oh, you should always keep this, keep this, keep this? For me, I think it's because I threw so many things away as a kid that became valuable, right? Every time I talk to Chris Arameta, I went to Chris Arametta's house, and he has an entire room dedicated to all this old Batman shit and Pokemon shit. And he has original Game Boys and all of these trinkets and stuff. Whereas I'm like, man, I had all that. I had all this, and I had all that. I had all these games, and now, you could sell an SNES system for like $800, and I don't want to miss out on that again. So it's like,
Is
all
that
right,
for
well, am I going to
real?
start? Yeah, it's there. Even was it PlayStation 3 or something just became a legacy console system. So now, what's that store called where you can sell shit back, video games?
GameStop?
GameStop. They're like, bring in your legacy, and we'll give you more money. So I guess I'll stop talking, but what does that concept look like for you of throwing something away? When is it hoarding? And when do you know, or how do you know to keep something of value?
Um, I think it's hard as kids to know what's going to become valuable. I don't think we knew when we were playing with first edition Charizards that they'd be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Um, I don't think so. That part of it, I don't think you know. I mean, you might know some of it. Now as an adult, I mean, there's people that go and you can't get Pokemon cards at Walmart or Target or anything like that because people go and buy them all and then resell them, or open them and try to get value out of the packs. But it's mostly just the resale stuff. So
Pokemon.
yeah, Gengar. Um, so that part of it is tough. The when does it become hoarding? When is it trash? Like, are you keeping like my mom kept everything, which was great. Like you saying, like I have a Super Nintendo literally underneath me as we speak.
Mm.
uh and in a box. Um so like that part of it was cool. Like all the Power Rangers, all the Megazords, all the wrestling action figures, all the tech decks and BMX bikes and all of that is great, but she didn't necessarily move. How many times do you want to move all of that stuff? Like
Right.
nobody's using it. It literally just collects dust wherever it goes. I mean, it's in a box here, and I'm like, what am I doing with this? Like it eventually will probably get thrown away or sold, just like my Pokemon cards at a garage sale for $10. Uh,
Yep.
it's just the hoarding aspect of it is it overrunning your house? Can you open your cabinets? Is things falling out when you open doors?
All right.
Is there
Good. So I'm
stuff
not a hoarder, is what you're
stacked to the
saying.
brim everywhere? Uh, that is it a hindrance on your life? I think that it might define it. I used to make fun, like my mom. Souvenir cups at like Buccaneers games
Hmm.
or
Yep.
Magic games. How many of those does one family or person need, right? Even if you got all of them,
Yeah.
how many? Like, we're season ticket holders. I'm looking directly at you right now
I have
because
about 15,
right,
probably more.
I at one point did as well. I've now like started getting rid of them. I'm like, what do I need
I don't use
15
any of them.
32-ounce cups for? They're even bigger than 32 ounce. They're giant. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need this.
Don't
And
use them. Don't need them.
no, and they just take up massive amounts of space. And at one point, my mom had 4 cabinets just full of cups. I go, there's 2 of you. How many cups do you need? How
Yeah.
many mugs do you need for coffee and all that? You like to entertain, all that? What's the right number? I don't think it's 30. So I and then dating someone that lives in New York, you see the other side of it where there's no room for shit. So
Minimal.
you have to be minimal and intentional about what you're doing. So I love like that aspect of it. So it's me having this house. It's like I have the best of both worlds, trying to only keep what I need. Obviously, sentimental value is on the person. So,
Right.
what's sentimental to you? Is it your birthday cards, or is it like my mom's a big scrapbooker, or was when I was growing up. So that was another reason she kept a bunch of stuff, because ticket stubs or things like that would go into a scrapbook. But it's like,
Yep.
for me, I'm like, that's trash until it's in a scrapbook. Uh, I
But
I
also
don't.
we lost scrapbooking. I mean, my mom used to do the same thing, but that was before the digital age came, and just like you said, it would be movie tickets, right? Or
Mhm.
concert tickets, but that's all digital now. So there is scrapbooking
Sometimes
now
you,
is like pictures.
yeah. No, I mean, wasn't scrapbooking pictures anyway? Just put
Yeah, but
into a
then
book.
pictures and then things, but those
Yeah.
things are all
I
digital
was like,
now, and
I
even
don't
pictures
know.
are digital now, so you're only scrapbooking if you're printing the pictures that already have a digital footprint, and then you're just taking paper and put it on paper for
I don't
one
know.
day in
It's
case
trash. It's all
digital
trash.
erased.
It's just,
Okay.
it's all trash. Because at the end of the day, it's not. That's not the memory. It's trash. The memory is like, oh, the thoughts that come up when you look at it is the memory, and it's like, do I need this ticket stub from 1972 to remember I went to this concert? No, I remember I went to this concert.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I My mom finally got the hint that I didn't wanna clean out a house when she was no longer here, so she started, because I told her, I was like, "I'm backing up a dumpster and throwing it all away, so either you can do it or I can do it, but somebody's doing it," and it's so but it's nice 'cause you go now, it's like you open up a cabinet, you're not, "Oh, all these cups are gonna fall out because I need 13 Tom Brady cups." Like,
Yeah.
put them in the attic. What
My mom
what do you
says to
need
me,
these for?
complete opposite. She always says, "When I die, you're gonna have so much shit to go through." She built a whole literal shed for her backyard, so she had more places to start storing shit because she filled out her guest bedroom closet of all shit.
Is it valuable stuff? If it's not valuable, then
A majority
why?
of it is Barbies, which I'm sure will be
Okay, I
valuable,
mean,
maybe.
maybe.
Uh,
If
a lot
if
of it is
in 20
mild shit.
years, right. So is it valuable to you is the question.
But it's baseball cards, it's Pokemon cards, it's toys and collectibles. So maybe, probably not. Well, okay, but here's the thing:
The
most
answer is
people,
probably not. More likely there's nothing valuable in there monetarily. So
but
is it valuable to you?
most people, I think, aren't holding on to things. They're holding on to the idea of what it could be worth, right? Do I want to miss the next this? Do I want to miss the next that? Could this be a collectible? But here's the thing: I think things were so different, right? You're talking about the 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, where things weren't mass produced, and if something were to fade away, then maybe that's valuable. But I think things now are cycling so fast that nothing's really a collectible because everything is being so mass produced that
I
nothing
would
is a true collectible. Does that make sense?
Oh, I was gonna say it's Furby, not Furby, Beanie Babies. Beanie Babies, the reason why Beanie Babies were so huge, internet didn't exist. So you thought they were rare as shit, but guess what? They were that rare in every city, in every state. So it wasn't rare, but we didn't, and it became this massive thing. We didn't know that mass producing, the reason like 90s baseball cards, football cards, basketball cards are worth nothing because they printed so much of it. Then
Mm,
the hobby died, and then COVID happened, and then they started printing a shit ton, a literal shit ton. Rookies now have 150 rookie cards.
insane.
How do you know which one's valuable?
You don't,
and and
right?
and the base
You don't.
one's worth nothing. So that normal Don Russ that 15 years ago that everybody sought after is worthless. You have to get the color variations or the SPs or the SSPs and then the numbered ones, and then we're back in the 90s as far as that goes. So collecting sports cards right now is it's the 90s all over again, unless you get lucky and get a superfractor, like one of one, a numbered variant, any of that. Just do it because you love the hobby and not because it's money. And
You're trying to find the next money.
I think
Yeah.
that's where I think you're getting hung up on, like, the keeping of shit. I think you keep it because you want it, not because it might be valuable. Um, I I don't necessarily believe in keeping shit just because, oh, it might be worth something in 20 years. The likelihood is everything's going to go to shit in the next 20 years. So what nothing's going to be valuable.
Yeah,
Gold,
I agree.
silver, bullets.
So yeah, I completely agree. I think I don't know. I need to go through my stuff, and I need to adopt the mindset of if you haven't touched it in a year, you don't need it. And that's what I do with my kids, where I'm like, hey, this box of shit has been sitting in the corner and nobody's touched it. Let's see what's in it. And then you take it out, it's just a bunch of random toys. All right, nobody's played with this box in a year. Let's get rid of it. And what I instill to cleaning out my kids' shit, I think I need to go back to like my childhood shit, probably go back to my mom's house, go in my attic and just clear my actual things.
Every time I go in and look at my cards, I find new ones I didn't know I had. Every single time. Like, and that's a sign of having too much shit.
Mm.
I don't know what I have. I have too much shit. It's just it is what it is. Like trying to organize and get it documented and all that. But the last time I opened it up, I found a Drake May rookie. I found a bunch of random rookie cards. I was like, that was weird. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, okay, cool.
I
But
think I
luckily
think
though it has value. So
the hardest challenge is for people to be honest with themselves and say how much of what I own actually adds to my life and how much of it just sits there. And I think
right.
once you make that honest reflection, then you can start clearing. And that's probably the issue that I have.
My biggest is clothes. I don't want to throw a piece of clothing away and then need to buy it again. I suits, like, I threw suits away, and I'm like, "Now I need to buy more suits." And
Mhm.
and not weight loss, all that you kinda anticipate, but just, like, change of season or, like, things like that. Coats, getting rid of coats, and it's like, "Damn it, I needed that."
For me, it's smaller clothes. Like in college when I was fit and I was thin, I was wearing XLs. And then, it got to XL2 and I have a whole drawer full of XL shirts and XL2 shirts where I'm like, hey, one day I'm going to fit back into this stuff. I mean, this shirt right here is a testament to that. You can see it's a little baggy now. It used to be tight on me, which is a nice feeling, but I need to come to the realization like I'm probably not going to be in an XL anytime soon. Why am I still holding
I'll
on to
take them.
all these small clothes?
I'll take all your XLs. I'll make it easy. Next time I'm over, just I'll go through them. That's how you give them to the people you care about.
People I care about. Like Callie
But no,
likes to sell them to the Haitians.
hey, that works. But I recently I went through. I'm like, why do I have this Deltona High baseball shirt from 20 years ago that I can't wear? I haven't looked at. So like the sweatpants, I kept the sweatpants because those are
Oh, they
the
were so
sentimental.
comfy. They
Not
were
only
so
that,
comfy.
it's we wore them all. You know what I'm saying? Those were a staple. Like those
Hmm.
were a staple of the baseball team, and like so.
Some girls
Though
stole
I kept
mine.
that, I still have my Under Armour from there.
Me
Like
too.
I can still fit into my Under Armour from then. So I'll use it when I go out and play softball or something and it's cold out. Golf. It was 32 degrees. I had that mock turtleneck on underneath my polo. Like
Royal
no
blue mock
shame.
turtleneck. Yep.
Damn right.
Mine's in my
Um
closet right next to my
yeah,
jersey.
so I there are things that I will keep and a lot of it is trash to other people, but it's like, no, this was like, oh, this was the first thing Sam drew me or things like that. And like they have
Yeah.
sentimental value, but that's to you. So
Right.
the minute
It's
you
the
are
feeling tied to
gone,
it.
the
No,
minute
it's
you're
trash.
gone, it's trash. So
Yep.
that's what I've tried to convey to my mom. I'm like, Mom, if it has nothing to do with me, it's going in the fucking trash. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I love you. I respect that these are your treasures or whatever, but they're not mine. They're yours, or they're not my brothers either. I'm not the only one here.
Yeah.
But
But it's not just stuff too. I think that we do the same exact thing with
mhm.
time and
Or
it's
people.
or people and but specifically to time, it's thinking about things, right, that we've been putting it off. And we do that same thing where it becomes a waiting versus living situation where it's kind of like with items and things, it's the situation of, is this ever going to be valuable or not? Or is it just something that means something to me? Have you heard the concept of reverse retirement or seen anything on TikTok? Now that I'm on TikTok and we're TikTokers, I see what the cool kids talk about these days.
No, I have no idea.
Okay. So I've been doom scrolling on TikTok and I've come across the algorithm of the reverse retirement concept where these early to mid 20 kids, they'll make videos and they'll be like, instead of, you know, traveling and everything when I'm 60 and older, I'm going to not work. I'm going to not have a job. I'm going to travel the world now. I'm going to get all my experiences in now, and then I'll be in debt. And then I can get a desk job in my 50s and 60s and just work back paying all of that debt when I'm older. What does that say to you?
So I've talked actually a lot with my girl about this, and because it's always like, oh, when we're older, we'll do this. I've said that multiple times. We're like specifically to like taking a train like around the U.S. and I'm like, "Oh, we'll do that when we're older." Well, she's under the like, "Why don't we do that now?" And for me, I don't necessarily wanna be on a train for a month right now, but also, like, I like my job. I don't think I could take off for a month to go to ride a train around the US, but
Hmm.
in the same breath, there is a testament to enjoying life now, uh, while you're young, because tomorrow not promised, all of those things, so it's like, life goes on while you're busy planning, so enjoying life. So I think it comes down to finding that balance where you don't have to work your entire life, but you can still enjoy your life while you're working, just like you would in retirement. I
Sure.
think I think you can set up your retirement plan or and all of that to do that. I think a lot of people don't know how to leverage debt or even use life insurance policies or anything to like their advantage because they're just not taught.
Right.
I wasn't aware of a lot of things, but unfortunately my father died while I was young, so I knew about life insurance and the benefits of that. But then no finding out that there's so many different types of policies and things like that to where I have one where I'm going to outlive it at this rate. I'm almost done. I got 5 more years on it. So, it's I'm gonna outlive the term. I'm gonna get every cent I put in it plus 3%.
Mm.
But if I didn't, it was $250,000 so that would get paid out to Sam. So, I mean, if I don't, I guess I still could die well before, I outlive it, but it's looking more and more like I will, and that was never a thought because of, my dad dying at 38. I was like, "Oh, I'll never see this, so it doesn't matter." But I
Yeah.
also didn't travel. I got a passport, the end of last year, so I'm trying now. I'm trying to find that balance to where I can travel now, but also not have to work till I'm 70 because
Right.
that seems absolutely miserable, and it's like one third of our populace does it. So there's no, I don't, I don't want that as my future, but I also
Yeah.
don't want to work so much I don't enjoy my body now. Because
And
I couldn't imagine hiking it in 60 year or 20 years.
but that's that you're right, and you're right on so many levels because you're right one about the balance, but the other thing that comes up is people not being educated, and maybe not just on health insurance, but on ways to invest and ways to properly handle their money. It's a global epidemic where people, whether you don't make a lot or whether you make too much, people don't know how to be responsible with money because they don't focus on that right in school, in middle school, in high school. They teach us all of these things that we'll never use again, like fucking calculus. And I
Yes.
think they're starting to change that structure to where they're teaching them about, real life things, but it's the age old debate of like in high school you should teach somebody, well, not anymore, but how to balance a checkbook, right? Like back in the day, they had fucking checkbooks and you had to balance it. I had no idea how to do any of that. Going into college, I didn't know anything about a checkbook. I opened up a bank account with my mom and she's like, "Oh, well, let me show you how to do all this." I'm like, "Oh, okay, great, thanks." And then I
I
did
I
nothing in school at
do
all.
I agree. I do think that we owe our youth um at least that to educate them. A lot of people that are in and wanting student loans to be forgiven didn't know how they work, right?
Yeah.
So they went and got 40, $50,000 loans, didn't pay a cent on them for 4 years. They have all this interest on top of that principal. Now
Mm-hmm.
they're, $200,000 in debt and they don't know why. It's like, well, if you were paying the interest alone those 4 years in college, you would now only be $40,000 in debt, but you didn't. You
Right.
deferred all that for 4 years, but you didn't know any better. So
Nope.
is it is it ignorance or is it predatory lending?
That's
And
definitely predatory
I
lending.
a
Absolutely.
1000%, but who allowed the predatory lending? The government. The
And that's the
government.
web you spin.
Yeah, I fucking hate the government. And the funny thing is, like, with what I do for a living, having to deal with them often, I fucking hate them. Like it,
Yeah.
the worst run business is the United States government, and I will die on that hill. I mean, you guys collect billions of dollars in taxes and still can't balance a budget. So,
So I saw this story uh, about an admiral who made this lecture, and he said something about sailing, right? He's an admiral. And he mentioned, like, if you like sailing, go sailing now, talking to people in like their 20 and 30s. Don't wait until you're retired, right? I'm retired and I'm too tired for this shit. I'm selling my boat because I'm old and like I need peace, right? So go sailing now. Moral of the story, do it now. Your body won't allow it when you're old, and I think that that's strong advice. It's not reverse retirement. It's not, hey, don't work at all, don't make money. But if you're gonna do the shit, do it while you can. Like, don't say you're gonna do it, and even if you have to pre-plan something a year in advance, 2 years in advance, whether you're saving for it or PTO or you have young kids that need to get a little older, whatever it is, do it. Do that experience and don't save it for later, because the other side of the coin, and like you mentioned, Nick, is passing while you're young. I know, unfortunately, again, we talked about this before, but I know too many people whose parents have passed at a young age. We see it all the time in the news where people in their 20s or 30s are passing away, freak accidents, or freak health scares. Well, again, I saw another story where somebody was like, yeah, my mom died in her 30s and she didn't get to travel and everything that she wanted to do. Oh, when I retire, I'm going to do this. When I'm retire, I'm going to do this. She didn't make it to retirement. And that daughter, who was in her 20s, was like, you know what? I decided I was going to live my life and go travel and do this and form these relationships and do everything that my mom wanted to do and have a not an ordinary life, but I'll settle down in my 30s or in my 40s, but I'm going to do everything now and live while I'm young.
if you can afford it, I think going into debt when you're young is the biggest mistake
Mm.
you can make. You spend years clawing out of that debt, and it could, if if you're not lucky, it could follow you forever. So that part of it, it's just be smart about it. If
Mm.
you're gonna go do that, just be smart about it. Don't, like you said, plan it. I might I might eat cheese sandwiches all year, but I'm gonna go to Tokyo at the end of it. Like you sacrifice to doing something like that. I think it would be amazing. It's the
Yeah.
going into debt aspect, and I don't know how you travel. How, at least for me, how I would want to travel in my 20s. I just don't see how that
Right.
uh, would have worked. Mm, I'm not a nomad. I can't just put a backpack on and just go and, go with a hope and a prayer if I have a place to sleep and things like that. So backpacking across Europe wouldn't be a thing. So
Yep.
I'm glad, now I have this perspective, like do it now. Just
Do it
even,
smart.
being a product of someone who's, my father passed away, like, I still wasn't like, "Oh, I need to go do all of this stuff because he didn't."
Yeah.
And now I'm at the age that he did die, and I'm like, "Huh, should probably start doing some of this stuff just in case." Just in case I don't make it, and,
What's
I think
what's
a
what's
lot.
that like on a different
Oh,
perspective? To be as old as
it's
your father
weird.
was when he passed. Do you think
It's
about that a
weird
lot?
all the time.
Mm.
This is odd. My whole, I mean, I was 12, so 38, so 26 years of dreading being 38. and
Mm,
it was always a joke. I would laugh when I said it, but I think at a certain point I meant it. Like I gotta beat him. Like I gotta, especially after I had Sam. I was like I gotta do everything I can to make sure
right.
I beat him. Um, but yeah, no, all the time. Part of the reason, I started, losing the weight or just trying to be a healthier version of what I was that he had a heart attack, 80% blockage in one of his arteries.
Right.
And so I did a bunch of research on how arteries clog, all that. And when you find out, simple sugars inflame your arteries, and that's how cholesterol gets stuck. It's like, oh, not having high cholesterol, which I don't, but if you have high cholesterol, it's not the end of the world. It's when your arteries get so inflamed that nothing can pass through them. And
Mm,
that's unfortunately, like I said, processed shit
yeah.
causes that a lot. But yeah, all the time. Being the same age as that is kinda weird. Uh, uh, but we'll see. I mean, we'll see how long I get.
I think that later is one of the most dangerous words that people use, and they
Mhm,
spend their best years preparing for a life that they might not even get to live. And on a small scale, I had always wanted to go to Thailand. And in my 20s, I made that happen. And I think there's a lot of trips that I have in mind and in this life. And like you said, you have to make sure that you can afford it. But even something small as in a non-joking way, the Backstreet Boys trip for me is something I've been talking about for like a year or two, ever since they
mhm.
started this tour and the Sphere residency. And it came out in January that they might be done. Then they announced more dates, and I was like, you know what? I have to go to this. Like I this whether something happens with me personally, financially, or the Backstreet Boys just end up stop doing this residency and now it's no longer a thing. Like, what if I miss this? Let me make this a point, and it's it's there. Let's make it happen. Let's not miss out on this. Is
Yeah,
there
no,
something
I'm
that you've been waiting or saying that you'll do eventually, but you haven't done yet?
well, uh, yeah, a lot. There's a ton. Uh, but what I was gonna one of the examples I was having of, like, why you shouldn't put things off was I wanted to see Alan Stone when he was in Florida, in November, but then I was like, "Oh, he's gonna be in, Brooklyn, the day after my birthday." So I was like, "Oh, I'll rather see him in Brooklyn with Jess." So, uh, I was like, "Oh, I'll put it off," and then December rolls around, can't end up getting into Brooklyn, so I don't end up seeing him. And then
Mm,
it's like, now I can't see Alan Stone without seeing Chris Stapleton, and I'm like, I really don't wanna see Chris Stapleton, but and then I looked at the prices, I'm not seeing Chris Stapleton. Just to see Alan Stone. And then he was here again in Florida at the Strawberry Festival, or oh
hmm
no, he was in Eustis for George Fest, and I had to be in Savannah that weekend. So I'm like, I shouldn't have put off the time in November when I could have seen him at the House of Blues. I should have
Yeah,
just went, even if it was by myself. It wouldn't have been, but I should have just went. And yeah, I mean, that's one that is really just recently been chapping my ass. But Portugal's a big one. One of my frat brothers moved there 5 to 10 years ago at this point.
yeah,
And he's, anytime we've talked, he's like, "Yeah, come whenever you want," type stuff. And I even have a Google alert to let me know when plane tickets get under a certain amount. And I mean, I see him all the time, weekly, uh, and it's just like, yeah, yeah, I'll get there. I'll get there. But it's been a constant, oh, maybe this year or maybe this year. But like I said, up until the end of last year, I didn't even have a passport. So it wasn't even realistic.
yeah.
Now, now that I have a passport, I've started looking, and it's like, oh, I can get to I can get to Costa Rica for $200. You know, I can get to these places, at least the southern hemisphere, relatively cheap, being where we live. So
Yeah.
I I've started my research. When Jess is here, actually, this coming weekend, we're going to be talking about where we want to go. We're trying to take a trip before June, so
Awesome. Well,
seeing that and
I hope you do
be
it.
my first international. Oh, I mean, we will. I just don't know where yet. You'll be the first to know.
You should put that PTO request into your boss for taking the week off for the You Good podcast.
Yeah, there you go.
So when you zoom out even further, right? So we've talked about hoarding, we've talked about making decisions on items, we've talked about making decisions in life, but when you go even further, I think it makes you question, what we're even saving all of this for. And I think that that's where the existential crisis comes, where what are we saving things for? What are we saving life for? If we knew our death date, if we knew our expiration date, what would we do different, or what would we go out and see? Do you think that one of the biggest mistakes people make is they don't realize how fast life actually moves? Like, I know all the time my parents would always say to me, just like I'm so sure so many parents, uh, people's parents would, life goes by quick, or life passes you quick, or next thing you know, you're going to be my age.
Yeah, and
Do
now
you
we're
think
their
that
age.
that's right? And I feel like I never listened to them in my early 20s, and I did all of these things. There was no regret, but I didn't heed warning of how fast life actually moves and changes. Do you think that's a product of immaturity? Do you think that's a product of, how we're raised, or is it just a mixture of everything?
I think you can be told a lot of things until you experience them. You don't actually realize it or know how to handle it. So yeah, you could tell me blue till I'm blue in the face that this time is gonna fly by, but until I've been raising a kid for the last 17 years, I'm like, oh no, I know exactly what you're talking about because I remember when she came home from the hospital. So like it definitely
Ooh,
it's tough. I I wish it would. I wish I could tell everyone to heed what your parents say, but you you do, right? Like you're told that your whole life, but then you're like you think you know what that means until you're actually in it. I think that's a better way. Like you think you know, but you have no idea, and then you live it. You're like, oh, okay, this is
now
this
I
is
finally
exactly what
realize
they
it.
were talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Whether it's 30 or 40 years later, I feel like every time I get older in life now, I'm always going to come back to a moment where, like, oh, that's why my parents said that. That's why my grandparents said that. Now it makes sense, even if it took 4 decades for it to sink in. I'm experiencing it. I'm seeing it. I understand it now. What do you think matters less the older you get? Have you ever thought about that?
The things you have matter less and the people you have matter more.
Elaborate.
I think that the relationships you build and all of that matter a lot more than the materialistic things you own.
I like that. That's deep. It's very deep. I think that's very true too, especially when you start to see older people, being more
Yeah.
lonely, and they
Yeah,
don't have
I
anything.
nobody eating alone or living life completely alone. Like yeah, I think you value like you could be the richest person in the world, but if you are alone at the end, like are you rich? I don't. I
Yeah.
probably not.
since nothing physical, right, ever actually lasts, would you say us as humans, and I'm zooming the lens out even more, and I guess I'm gonna go into your what's it called?
Oh, my
Your
brain?
your tinfoil hat brain.
Oh, conspiracy theorist brain? Logical brain? Free thinker? Whatever
on
you want to call it?
on the grand scheme, do you think that we as humans are building something or
Mm.
just simply passing time because there's such a small minute of people in this world that are actually ever going to change it, whether it's for good, bad, or indifferent? 99% of people in this world will never create something that will change the world.
Um, man, I think technology's changed the way I view that because if you think like how long it took, for things to get built 200 years ago, 300 years ago, and now you see we put up a house in a day that would have took God knows how long 200 years ago. I would like to think humans are building something. I think if we don't figure that out as a species or as what we want our legacy to be, I don't think we'll have a chance to see it through. I think, with just war or anything like that, I don't think, as a species we'll see it through if we don't realize it's bigger than, us in the grand scheme of things. Like
Mm-hmm.
the earth will cleanse itself. It's done it every single time. So if we become a parasite for it, it will cleanse itself.
I've seen a lot of conversation come back up because of the space launch, right? We're putting people around the moon. We're now getting closer than ever to potentially doing another moon landing. And here's one of the craziest things for me, and I don't know, you probably were more informed on this, but I did not know that the space launch was so historical because I didn't know that we hadn't been that far out in 50 years. I'm sitting here.
Ever.
I'm still,
We've never been
yeah,
this far out
right. We've
ever.
never been this far ever. And even though we've had somebody land on the moon once, here I am. I'm like, well, what about the International Space Station? And what about people going to space all the time? Not ever thinking that none of that has ever been, in the
Where do you
moon's
think the
gravitational
space
field.
station is?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't, I know
Uh,
that it's barely up there in space now, but I'm just,
it's perfectly placed to where it can stay there and
it's,
not come crashing down to Earth or get pulled into the moon. So
no,
like that engineering feat should blow your fucking mind.
it does. I think about space more than I probably should, just on the grand scheme of like space and galaxies and life out there and how small of a speck we are on the grand scheme. And then it's just like, well, why? Why why us? Why Earth? Why this galaxy? And what else is truly out there? Are these just high thoughts?
No, you I mean, it's safe to assume more intelligent life is out there. It's safe to assume galaxies very similar to one we currently live on are out there. It's infinite. It
But why haven't we seen it? Why haven't we
because we
been visited?
can't. Oh, why? If you could go anywhere, and would you go to a civilization that couldn't leave the planet? No,
Oh,
like
just
I would go enslave that race. Like you're mine now. Like like no, well, you don't dumb it down.
we might do that one day. We might go to a different planet the other day and find civilization there and take them over and be like, hey, give us your
Very
planet.
well could. We got here. You can't leave. Now what?
Yeah.
No, no. If
Interesting.
alien when an aliens want to be known, we are fucked. Like if they decide they're like, we're here, we're gonna do whatever the hell we want. They're gonna do whatever the hell they want, and we're not gonna do anything to stop them.
Yeah. Yep.
They got here. We can't. We can barely fucking leave.
I don't know.
We can't
we could
reignite
do a
an
whole episode on
engine
that.
in space.
Yeah. I think it would be, I don't know. It would be cool. We could have maybe an episode on conspiracy theories. I think that would be pretty cool.
I mean, I guess especially if you don't believe in any.
It's not, I didn't say that.
No,
I
I never
believe in
said you
some.
did. I wasn't implying. It was just if it would be better if you didn't believe in any. like,
Some of them are just
like
absolutely wild. My my friend came up with an idea. I guess it's a new thing that people are doing. It's a conspiracy theory party where everybody comes over and they put together some slides of a conspiracy theory that they are knowledgeable about, and everybody just shares a story while you're
mm,
drinking and having fun with each other. That'd be pretty
yeah,
cool.
maybe. I don't know. How informed are these people?
I know. I've seen some. I've
If it's
seen some crazy
Preston, hard
things.
pass. Love Preston, but
Do you think that people would live life differently if they zoomed out more and thought outside
yeah,
of their own individual bubble, or
yeah.
do you think
But
there
we're
do you think there
humans.
has to be that balance of being selfish to, I don't know, progress through life?
No, I think we need to become less selfish. I think we as a race are selfish. I think we're all out for ourselves, and I think, especially as I've gotten older, it's that's definitely not what it's about. It's helping one another. We're not gonna survive as a race if we keep fighting each other over the dumbest shit. And one of the dumbest things ever is we won't go into it because we're gonna save it for a different podcast. But fucking politics. I mean, we fight each other all the time.
Yeah,
700 people, like that's less than 700 people here in the U.S. dictate and control all of this, and we
yeah,
have the power to not let a single one of them back in, but we were like, no, my side's better than the other, but both sides suck. Like
right.
both fucking sides suck. And look, I'm a registered Republican. I have no problem telling you both sides suck. So it, when we wake up as a society and realize all this, it's going to be too fucking late because some asshole's going to be in there hitting a nuke.
But the thing is also we as a society are the ones that have done this to ourselves. I mean, when
A
you
thousand
when you
percent.
you strip everything down to the basics, everything in life is meaningless and made up. Where
Yeah,
the
we give
dollar
value
is
to
made
it.
up, right? It all means nothing. I mean, we
It
sit
is
here and we
now. It
say,
wasn't before. The dollar wasn't before. It's made up now.
yeah,
When we got away from the gold standard is when it all went to shit. But the dollar actually had one of these is this much gold. Now that's not the fucking case. Now it's all speculatory. And the Fed isn't part of the US government, and yet they get to control everyone's money, not just the US money, but they control
right.
every fucking person's money. And anytime anyone tries to get off the dollar, people die. We go to war, all of that shit. If anybody believes we went to Iraq because of weapons of mass destruction, I got fucking ketchup flavored popsicles to sell you. Like it doesn't you dumb down a society in order to control it.
Yeah.
we can look to education over the last 40 years, and we've completely gutted letting people use their brain. We want them to just spout what they're taught, spout what they hear, and don't think for yourselves. Why? Because I can control that. I can't control somebody who asks why.
Right.
And we've literally made it a point to get that out of our school. So it starts there, man. Like I said,
Hey, I'll let you rant to a degree. I'll reel you in if you're getting too political, but I mean, you're
no,
not wrong. You're not.
no,
And
because it's not
just
about politics. It's
it's not. No.
we've become so dumb we think it is, and it's like you guys are so. I don't have time for your dumbass. Like I don't argue with you. I won't entertain it. Like I think you're dumb. I think the MAGA people are fucking dumb. I think the people that are on the all the Democrats that are on Trump's nuts, I think are fucking crazy. As like you guys think about this asshole more than anybody else, but you don't. But you don't. Like
Yeah.
you weren't on Biden's nuts this much. Like anybody who idolizes any politician's fucking
I that's
crazy.
that's what I
Anybody,
was just gonna say. It's the idolization of one
it's
person
fucking
to where
crazy.
your point of less than 700 people run this country, but everybody idolizes and focuses on one individual, and they think that that one person changes the way
Because
where
they're dumb.
we live as a society
Because they're dumb, and
for
that's what they're
four
being
years,
told.
up
They're
to 8
being
years.
told. They're being told that this guy is the worst thing on the fucking planet. He might be. He fucking might be. But you also won't think for yourself. You're
Yeah.
just, oh, he's the worst guy, dude. All of this shit's happening for a reason. I'm not sure what that reason is. I'm sure it has something to do with Israel and the Epstein files, but I don't know. I'm a fucking big old dum dum, and I just talk on the internet with my friend every week. So, uh, I, you know, I'm sure it has something to do with that. And then it makes me wonder why and what do they have on everyone if they they won the world, right? So it's like, huh, what did they got? Well, like, and
Yeah.
all this is happening when we are about to find out what you had on people. So, uh, I don't know. Like, I think Epstein worked for Israel. That's me. Like, and it would make a lot of sense how he was able to do everything he did if that was the case. So, I don't know.
So the last
That made up
question
country bothers me.
was now we steer away from that. And the last question, we're gonna get back to the original theme of this
Sweet.
last segment
Hell
and
yeah.
say, when it's all said and done, do you think that people regret what they did or what
No.
they didn't do?
They regret what they didn't do. When it comes down to it, it's always, I wish I did that. I wish I did this. It's never, oh man, I can't believe I did that. It's
That's not
always,
true. That's not true. I can't believe I did this and made this mistake. I wish I would have done something different. Not that I didn't
you
do it.
think that happens on their deathbed? Like, I don't think so. I think they're not focused on what they did do unless it's severely negative. I'm just like an average person, average life, normal mistakes, normal things like that. They're going to regret not doing the things they've always wanted to do, not the things they did. They're even if it was a bad thing, they're not going to regret that. They're going to regret like I said, unless it's fucking terrible, they might
No,
regret
okay.
it.
Here's an example. What if somebody alienated, right, their family and their friends, and by the time they were older, they were that lonely guy that had nobody left? And it's not because everybody was dead, it's because they had alienated themselves for so long and then they die alone. Is the regret not, I wish I didn't alienate everybody? Well, I guess then that's maybe a didn't do.
Uh-huh. No, I
I
was
don't know.
right. Thank you. I trust me. I know. I'm like I know what you're trying to say. It's like, but
Yeah,
again, it has to be something fucking completely terrible. It'll be like, oh, I can't believe I did that. It's
murdered my
no,
whole
you're
family.
gonna right. Or oh, I can't believe like I did this my whole life and now this. But again, it's back. I could have done this. So I'm gonna go with what I said originally.
There
Like,
you go.
I think you regret what you don't do, and you you unfortunately put it off because that's what you're taught, right? You're taught to work hard your whole life and then enjoy retirement. Um, that was when you could live off Social Security. You can't do that now. So I think you need to enjoy life now. Set your kids up for success. I'm not necessarily take care of them, but like if and when you do pass, that that's not a burden on anyone, even if it's just the cost to take care of yourself. You know, leave a little bit of money for them. That's great, but I think it's ultimately don't go into debt now, because the last thing you want to do is actually see 60, 70 and still have to fucking work. Like,
Right.
oh, I didn't expect to be here. Now I have to work. It's like, I think there's a balance. I hope I have it. We'll find out. um, but there has to be. There is no. I couldn't. God, dude, the thought of going into debt right now just to travel is giving me anxiety. Like I was like, plan it. You're like, you don't have to go. And I'm talking like debt that's gonna ruin you, not a couple $1,000s. I'm
Right.
talking like, oh, I for first class trip, $10,000. Like I got a predatory loan and I'm paying 27% interest on this bitch. You know, like
Yeah, like
that's
spending
what
ten
I'm
thousand
talking about.
dollars to go to WrestleMania in Vegas, right?
Hey,
I don't know who
not
did that.
everybody, dude. If that's really what you spent, I'm gonna kick you in the nuts when I see you because you told me way fucking less.
No, I'm just kidding. Cut that. Cut that.
Yeah, I was
Didn't
gonna
say
say
that.
you did
And it's
not
been
say that the last time I asked.
oh Lord. Well, this was an interesting episode, and I think that there's so many spin-offs of these conversations that we had today that could be full episodes in themselves. I promise one day I will let you take the gloves off and talk politics, no matter
Dude, if we do, we really probably should have someone like
mediate.
Danny or somebody that is on the other side. No, you're gonna be the mediator, but somebody that's just like I said, somebody like Danny, like
Yeah,
because we talked about it. Like me and him do that. We we talk all the time about this
right.
stuff, and we don't agree. And
We touched on
I
that
think the
during his
world,
episode when he was on.
yeah, and right, and I think the world needs that. So it's like if we are gonna do something like that, I'd want to do
Yeah,
go like that route, especially since
one
you
day.
aren't necessarily as
Educated.
well
It's okay, you
versed.
can say
I
it.
would say educated. I would say well versed because it's what's true. You know, like that's a whole nother aspect to this
Yeah,
now. It's what's true. Every time me and Danny speak, we each will give each other a perspective or something they didn't know about. And it might not change it, but it definitely helps people understand why people choose the sides they choose rather than just hate. Um, so
yeah. No, I agree, dude. And I think, whether whether we're talking about politics or religion or conspiracy theories, or just people in general, I think that the overall takeaway or segment from this is just step out of your own personal life and try to think about other people and realize that, yeah, at the end of the day, we are all in this together, because you're right. I think the world is a better place when we can find common ground, when we can be people, and when we can say, hey, we are all humans inhabiting a world that we have helped to destroy together, no matter what enter quote unquote destruction is here that you're talking about, whether it's poverty or homelessness or war or whatever it might be, politics. We, as a species, as a society, have created everything that is wrong with the world today. It's not like it just fucking happened. It's happened over time, and because of social media, it's happening quicker than it's ever happened in our lives.
Mhm.
And I don't think people think about that. I don't think they think about the future enough. I think
No.
they selfishly only care
It's
about themselves. Even it's
mhm.
to the point where, like, when I die, like, nothing else matters because it's not going to affect me.
Right. It's not my favorite thing we talk about all the time. Everybody's got a soapbox now. Everybody thinks their opinion is the only one that matters. And for me, and we've always talked about it. I we don't do this for that. We don't. We are capable of looking outside of ourselves, and I
Mm.
think that's the biggest thing. I know that my opinion is just that. It's just an opinion. It isn't fact. It isn't how it is. Many of my opinion might be based in fact, but it's just how I feel. And for me to be like, "Oh, you shouldn't feel the way you feel" to anyone
Hmm.
is crazy. And the fact that not we, but people, society think it's perfectly okay to yuck someone's yum or fucking like why? They're not, it's certain things, sure, but for the most part, let people fucking live their life. Help somebody out if you can. If you
Yeah.
can't, I get it, but dude, it's there's so much negativity in the world that it's it's not gonna get better with more hate.
And we end on that. That's a powerful line. So if any part of today's episode hit home, share it with a friend, tag us at CrodsPod on Instagram, follow us on TikTok at CrodsPod, but help us keep these conversations going. We drop new episodes every Thursday. If you have a story, a topic, or you just need to vent, please email us at crodspod@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. Our safe space is your outlet. I think that we have some good guests coming up over the next few months. Like Nick and I have mentioned previously, please come on if you have a story to tell. We love booking these guests and having these conversations, but more importantly, if there's anybody out there listening who we do not know, still waiting for that first one. So until next time, live fast, eat ass, or use your time while you have it.